Ho-ho boardies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and this is Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair episode 31. We've finally finished investigating the deaths of Ibuki and Hiyoko and we're ready for the class trial. So to do the class trial we need to go to... where do we need to go to? Monokuma... Mount Monokuma, is that what it's called? Not Jabberwock Park. Here. Monokuma Rock. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of the Monokuma Rock. And soon enough...
Welcome!
Is everybody here? You guys want to go to the class trial?
Wait!
Hey, jerk! Hold it right there!
Mon Amy's such
What?
a dumb child.
Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells.
Hey!
My brain works just fine!
Hey!
Monokuma! What did you do with Nekomaru?
I see. So you've come to avenge him.
That's...
Avenge? That sounds like he died!
Sounds like, you say. Oops. Anyway, since Nakamura is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
Bye-bye!
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you...
Ah, hold on! I won't let you escape!
Hey!
Hey, did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about that. There's no way Nakamura is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except, Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
How about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What do you yearn?
What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Then let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Up we go. Roar! We stepped onto the escalator and ascended towards the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. I like how it unfolds and it's got handrails as well. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. Only just now I've noticed this. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back I won't be able to press forward. Up we go. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, the elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. Okay. Awkward. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. Here we are.
My, it feels toothless with all these empty seats.
Well, two people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother?
That's...
What?
Well now.
Now then, let's begin. It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content.
And so the curtain to the third class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Yoko Seonji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahira's death. The person who killed those two is among us. I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out no matter the cost. I just realised the red ones are the ones that have died, aren't they? For our sake. For our friends' sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so the curtain to the third-class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. I would love to save my progress, thank you. Have we got any skills we can use? We've not unlocked any, have we? Oh well. I guess we're losers. Okay. Finish preparations. Trial. Class start.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. And that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this
Try and
boring
skip this as quick as
explanation?
possible.
Let's get on with...
I don't mind
Yes.
starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Bit convenient, Nagito.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Cool.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
that.
Let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from the symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera.
And this
blinking before
was
our
weird.
school
I think
time.
the implication is that the thing that we saw on the surveillance camera was filmed upstairs in the hospital
When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was
because of what Chiaki showed us.
a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story. And then what did you do, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course.
I mean, if that's the case, then does that mean that Nagito could be the one that at least did that video?
I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Alright.
Why the motel?
Well, that's where the others were.
Because it was close to the music venue. And unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone.
I'm convinced that the video footage wasn't Ibuki.
Out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Couldn't have been Mikan either because the bandages on her hand weren't there.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag.
Yep.
So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
So, I went into the music venue, the Titty Typhoon. The bodies were there, and then I left, and when I came back, it was held by a drumstick.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
Why?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Alright, Nagito.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Huh?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Just as Kazuichi said, Nagito's the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it. I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Alright, let's have a look at what's going on. Okay. Motel room key. Oh. Okay.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I'm not a liar.
Can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie
Well,
means it probably is Hajime's fault.
we don't know if they're imitating the movie though, do we? I mean, they did look like the movie, let's have a look. They did look like the movie, but was that actually confirmed? Because the temperature was amped up in that room, so the order of killings was ambiguous, so maybe it was disguised as an imitation murder, so that people wouldn't question the order of the deaths. Okay. One ticket was passed out per person. I don't know if that has any relevance, but we can try it. I'm not the killer. There should be a contradiction somewhere. I need to find that and break through.
Hajime's testimony is clearly
It's gotta be here
suspicious.
somewhere, right?
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
God damn it. I missed it, I think. I need to slow it down. I forgot that I can slow it down.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did
go.
Hajime kill both
Oh,
of them?
not yet.
The fact that the bodies
Yeah.
were imitating the movie. No, that's wrong.
J'accuse! Break.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not.
Oh, he hadn't seen the movie? Of course.
Huh?
You already knew that, Nagito. You tease.
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
Of course. I should just stumble across the right evidence just because it was related to it.
Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Yes, it is.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important.
It is to,
Especially
to
since
Nagito.
this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments. So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it. Ibuki committed suicide.
Unalivement.
If Ibuki committed suicide,
Unalivement?
then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Unless Ibuki did it.
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
This is a red herring because we know that they weren't in the same order because Hiyoko was probably covered by the wallpaper.
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So she was already there.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Was it blocked by a drumstick or was it something else? Oh, a strange glove that was stuck to where both music venue doors... Oh, so it was actually glue. Okay. That changes things. It was glued shut.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So maybe it would self-seal?
Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that.
Yeah, he's barking up the wrong tree.
And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's
One of you.
doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru. Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like, huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
What's going on with that? Monokuma, Nekomaru all this time.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but... is that really it? Alright, so we gotta use that glue for something, right? Where is it? There it is, semi-transparent glob. Oops.
The killer was still inside the music venue.
Oh.
By locking the door from the inside.
No. Jack Hughes! Great.
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door.
That's right.
That's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob was probably... gum, rubber, glue. It wasn't rubber at all. The semi-transparent glob was probably rubber.
I see.
I see.
That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
Oh yeah, why did you do that?
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, we must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Ah.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia.
Swears
and
it.
me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So, during the 10 minutes
Thanks, Monami.
Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
During the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue. No, before. All they need to do is make a closed space.
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, They must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
Here's some paper.
That scrap of paper, is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now, I should be able to figure out what it is. Oh, great. This is Hangman. Hangman's Gambit! Okay. Well, it's wallpaper, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so how do we do this again? Now, does this... Okay, that destroys. Oh, we need these. What is that? That's a P. Ah. Need that. Need that. There's another L. Whoa. Oops. We're looking for P. Oh, god damn it. P. Okay. I need a P. Oh my god. Okay. P. Oops. Dumb P. Oh my god, right, okay. This is not going well. Need an E now. Then I need an R. Woo!
I got it!
That was pretty tough. Complete!
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting, a tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
I
Cool.
see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearance?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Alright, what are we doing now? Logic dive. Oh, okay. I forgot about this one. Oh, that's how you jump? Okay. How do I... Okay, there we go. Question 1. What did Hyoko's body suddenly... Oh, it was brought there... Oh! How did it suddenly appear at the crime scene? Right, it was hidden. Oop. Question 2. What did the killer use to hide it? The wallpaper. Oh, okay. Okay, how did it hide a body? Okay, covered the pillar. Cool, we're done.
It's all coming together.
Alright, cool.
I got it. Kyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already
Body.
taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar.
It's quite an undertaking, isn't it?
Discovered Ibuki's body. Kyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on it.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
It is.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Isn't it, Nagito? And how would you know that unless you were the killer?
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
Fair enough.
I knew it! There are so many similarities, it must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Or was it? Was Nekomara the mutilated Tin Man?
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that now. To mix up the killing order. That's what I think.
I see!
I see.
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Gundam?
I'll let you sob as much as you want. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as
What?
the...
I didn't follow that. Oh, this one. Right, hang on. Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself. That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor. What's wrong with that? But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. Okay, that would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki. Okay.
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just going to talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Okay. Well, there were blood on their shoes, right? Where is that? Is that proof?
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yes. J'agree. I agree with that. Great.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint
That's
blood
right.
stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the
Whoa.
power of the evil eye.
Oh my god. Gundam.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
And if I destroy you first?
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Okay. Rebuttal showdown. Okay.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about. Did you see a nice nightmare?
Despite his exaggerated protests, I feel like I've already seen an opening to counter. Is this a trap?
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet... Oh, ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
There was blood. What's wrong? Have you reached your limit?
Crap!
Hang on, I need to counter with the right
You're
thing.
saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko?
Okay, smudge on the floor.
Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood.
Yes, there
on the
was.
floor.
Allow me to cut through those.
J'accuse.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
I do, my friend.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer
Oh
probably
yeah,
didn't
that's why
even
it's a
realize
smudge.
it.
Okay, cool. So that looks like it's another episode of Borderline Games. Next time we're going to find out all what the deal is with this smudge on the floor. But for now, I'll see you next time on Borderline Games for some more Danganronpa. I'll see you later.